My boss fired me for being honest, so I showed them what dishonesty really looked like. I'd been working at Meridian Accounting for 3 years when Cordelia promoted me to senior auditor. She was the kind of boss who smiled at clients while screaming at employees behind closed doors, but the pay was good, and I needed the experience for my CPA. Everything changed when I discovered the Brennan Industries file. Brennan was our biggest client, a construction company that brought in 40% of our revenue. While reviewing their quarterly reports, I found discrepancies that made my stomach drop. Missing invoices, backdated contracts, payments to shell companies that didn't exist. They were laundering money, and we were helping them do it. I knocked on Cordelia's office door, my hands shaking as I carried the evidence. "What is it, Quinn?" she asked without looking up from her computer. "There's a problem with the Brennan account," I said. "Major irregularities. We need to report this." Her fingers stopped typing. She finally looked at me. "Irregularities?" I spread the documents across her desk, pointing out each violation. Tax evasion, fraud, federal crimes that could land all of us in prison if the authorities discovered our firm had ignored them. Cordelia's face remained perfectly calm as she reviewed everything. "These are just accounting errors," she said finally. "Brennan's expanding rapidly. Growing pains. Cordelia, this isn't sloppy bookkeeping. This is deliberate." "Quinn," her voice turned ice cold. "You're new to senior level accounts. You don't understand the complexities of large corporations." I stared at her. "Are you seriously telling me to ignore federal crimes?" She leaned back in her chair. "I'm telling you to focus on your assigned duties. Nothing more." That night, I couldn't sleep. My dad had raised me to believe integrity wasn't negotiable. "Do the right thing, even when it costs you," he'd always said. The next morning, I called the state licensing board. 2 days later, Cordelia called me into her office. "It's come to my attention that you're not a good fit for our company culture," she said. "We're letting you go. Effective immediately." She already had my termination paperwork ready. The reason listed: performance issues and poor judgment. I was escorted out by security like a criminal. For 3 months, I applied everywhere. But Cordelia had connections throughout the industry. Every interview ended the same way: polite rejections after they called for references. That's when I decided to show them what real dishonesty looked like. I'd kept copies of everything. Not just the Brennan files, but 3 years of documents showing how Meridian systematically helped clients evade taxes, shell companies, offshore accounts, falsified depreciation schedules. I assembled a comprehensive report, 127 pages of evidence showing deliberate criminal activity. Then I sent it to the IRS, the FBI, the state attorney general, and every major accounting journal. The raid happened on a Tuesday morning. Federal agents seized Meridian servers while Cordelia was arrested at her desk. The local news ran footage of her being led away in handcuffs, her face twisted with rage. When reporters called for comment, I simply said, "An accountant's first duty is to the truth." Some firms seem to have forgotten that. The fallout was spectacular. Meridian lost its license. Brennan Industries collapsed under federal investigation. 17 people were indicted for conspiracy, fraud, and tax evasion. Cordelia got 7 years in federal prison. 6 months later, I was hired by the state auditor's office to help investigate financial crimes. The hiring manager said my reputation for integrity preceded me. Last week, I received a letter from Cordelia. Prison stationery, shaky handwriting. "You destroyed my life over a technicality," she wrote. "I hope you're satisfied." I filed it with the rest of my evidence from the case. Some people never learn the difference between honesty and technicality.